And
we're back.
It's Murugandi, KGS Legends. Welcome again.
Thank you.
So yesterday, the day before, and the day before, we did a game from the European Youth Championship in Brno.
Mm-hmm.
Big game, deciding game for the championship.
Yes.
Pavel Lissi won.
Yeah, very nice game.
Yes. We got several letters with players who sent in games.
Yes, we got a lot of positive reactions to the Q game idea. And one letter was really nice. It's written by a German Go player, Helge Böger. He sent us a very nice letter with one of his games. He is a 2Q player, and in this game he played against 1Q.
Okay, is it 2Q on KGS or in real life?
Yes, on KGS.
And in real life?
In real life I don't know, to be honest, but I think he's yeah, something like 2Q.
Okay.
And his name on KGS is Moin9, so you can see that in the information.
Okay. Yes.
So yeah, Helge was black, and his opponent was white.
And his opponent was 1Q?
1Q on KGS, yes.
Okay, so 2Q against 1Q.
Yes.
Seems quite natural.
Very normal. Standard Josuke that is played here.
Okay.
And now black played high. So this is all yeah, completely normal. And now white did something very strange immediately. So this is the first major mistake in the game. Where would you play at this point?
I would play here, I think.
Yeah, that's a very good move. You can play either here, or you can also approach this corner.
But then
like
I
so.
would be afraid to get pinched.
Okay, well that's just a completely different game. But it's a normal approach. What white did was to invade immediately on this side, which is already a tactical error, but he also played here. Yeah, and this is a very peculiar move. It's very aggressive. But what you can see now is that black just responds over here, and immediately white is in white is in trouble, because black has 2 stones locally here against 1, and there's also already another black stone that's pincering white. So
and this gets even more secured.
yes, this is very strong now, so it's very secure, and this stone is just standing there all on its own. So what I can tell you in this case is that invading on this side is already a strange thing to do, because for example if white would play here, which would be a more normal thing to do, black would just do something like this.
Then maybe here or here?
Or
first here?
Yeah, this is better, to first play here, to first defend and then attack.
Okay.
Because white already has a problem here, because there's a black stone, so he can't make a nice extension. So we'll have to do something like this, or like this. And immediately you can see that white is pressured, and he has to go into the center like this. But black gets a lot of territory, over here and on the top. And white has a weak group that's running towards the center, and yeah, he's not making any points, so this is very problematic. And even more so, if white would want to pressure this, it would be more normal to play something over here. This is a standard sort of approach if you have a high stone. As white you want to play low and 2 spaces away. Because now if black will do something like this or here, you still have some room.
But now black can do the same, this and...
Yeah. Yeah, now in this position it's also very strange to play on this side, so that's a very tactical error. But this kind of move, it's something that is almost never good, because immediately your own stone gets hurt. And if white would want to battle with these 2 stones, then he would have to play something like this. It's 2 against 2, but black always has the first move, so he can hane on the top of 2 stones, and this is very, very painful for white. Because you can see that maybe if white wants to live now, he will have to add another stone. And immediately this cornerstone, you can see that it functions very well.
Yeah. White gets driven to it.
Yes, exactly. So he would have to do something like this, and black just makes territory. White will have to go out, and maybe this is even better to attack his base. And yeah, black is making territory here, here, and white will have to run with a weak group, and yeah, has a lot of problems.
Yummy.
Yeah, exactly. This is what you want as black. So, well, let's see what happened in the game. Black played this move, which is very good. It's the normal approach, the only move. And now we can immediately see what white was aiming at with this move, because he played here. Do you see what he's doing?
He wants to connect here.
Yes.
Or here.
Very good, yeah. So white creates some sort of Mii position for himself. He can connect either to that side or to the other side. But this is a sort of, well, technique that you can use to destroy the territory or make it a little bit smaller. It's an endgame thing. So now what you can see, if black just responds, well, where would you play?
I think I would play here because I want to keep this weak altogether.
Okay, well that is...
Why are you laughing, Murugandi?
Well,
I hate this smile.
Black actually did play here, so
Okay.
that's nice, but it's not the correct move. In this case, it's still not really bad for black, because yeah, white is very low, he's on the second line.
Line of defeat.
Line of defeat, very good. So that's also why this move can never be good by white. But as you can see, white connects all his stones now on this side. And as black he would have to defend, something like this. And maybe now this result isn't all that bad for white. So it's not good, but it's, you know, it could have been a lot worse. Black can punish white severely. So instead of playing this move, maybe it's nicer to do exactly the same one on the other side. Over here.
And now white gets a bigger corner, Murugandi.
Yes, yes, white will play here. But this is actually not a problem. You can see that white is locally making maybe 4 points, but black is getting very strong over here. And this stone looks completely alone and a little bit ridiculous. So if black would do something like this, then if white would want to make this stone look good, he would have to do something with it, otherwise it was useless. So maybe he will play like this. And he defends, and now black can tanuki. So for example, he plays over here, and all this is now black's territory. And do you see why he can tanuki? Because this might look very dangerous, because there's a cut. Q players are always very afraid of these kind of things, but yeah, in this case it's quite okay for black.
Why?
So, well, the normal thing to do for white would be to Atari here.
Yeah.
But instead of just defending like this, keeping...
Making a double empty triangle.
Yeah, it's a horrible shape. So you don't want to do this. You can also Atari back, counter Atari from the
Then
other
he
side.
takes and then he attacks this stone, Murugandi.
Yes, yes, well, okay, so white takes.
Yes.
And now black has a free move, you can Atari back.
Okay, so white defense.
White defends. And, well, black defends over here, and there is no problem. Now there is still a cutting point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that...
So white cuts.
Okay. So white cuts. Well, maybe before this, black could also exchange this, but that then it wouldn't work at all. For example, if it would be like this.
Yeah, yeah. If
No, but okay, that's just a... that's a more...
he cheats, ladies and gentlemen.
it's a more difficult approach, but then this wouldn't work
okay.
at all.
Then I see.
Okay. So
But he didn't do it.
no. Well, this didn't happen anyway.
No, but
Okay, so even if it would go like this, black could also just give up these stones, sacrifice them, and you can see that the result is very good for black.
it is 8 points, Murugandi.
Yeah, it looks very big, and a lot of Q players are very afraid to give away some of their stones. So they try to always defend everything, and they can't let go of their own, you know, their own precious babies, so to speak. But in this case, it's only 8 points. 8 points is 8 points, but it's not so much in the opening. For example, a move like this is so much more points than 8. It's like 30 points or something. So if you can do something like this as black, you just give away 8 points and gain something in return. Like this, for example. It looks very vulgar, but it's quite okay. So now white captures these stones, it's 9 points. But he doesn't get any strength out of it. It's all very local. And if black just responds, you can see that he has a huge wall, which is influencing the center so much. And white doesn't have any stones that are doing anything in the center.
How can you tell if you can sacrifice stones or not?
Well, that's also a good question, but in the opening there are so many nice points, so many big points to take.
Can I say if these stones would cut something, I had to save them, and if they're not cutting, I can sacrifice them?
Well, if they cut something important, for example, if you're attacking a weak group, and these stones are very important in that battle, you can't lose them, then of course you can't sacrifice. But in this kind of case, you see that you're making territory,
yes,
and you're only giving some points away that don't really do much in the game. It's all about the whole board strategy. So yeah, you can see that this is very local, whereas black is focusing on the whole board. You see that?
So, but is there not something easy to remember if I can sacrifice stones or not?
Well, I don't know, there are probably some ground rules. You can of course check the value of the points. In this case it's very easy to see because it's 9 points, right? It's 4 of these times 2 plus 1. This is 9 points worth. So if you're in the completely beginning stages of the Fuseki, something like this is really, it's no problem. Maybe towards endgame something like this would be big, you know, 9 points would be very big. But yeah, in the opening it's just peanuts.
So it's okay as long as you keep center.
Sometimes, well in this case black doesn't keep Sente, because he has to respond here.
Okay.
Otherwise he would still have cutting points. But still this is, even if it's Gote, it's incredibly big.
So this influence is more worth than 9 points?
Yes, a lot more.
A lot more?
Yes, yes.
How would you assess?
Well, I don't know, this is 30 points or something?
Whoa, wait, that...
Yeah, because you can realize the saying that a Ponuki is worth 30 points, that's the same principle. A Ponuki is so strong, it's all about shape and strength. So if you have a Ponuki in the center like this is a strange
big stone.
Then you can see that this is influencing the whole game.
Yes.
So that's why the saying is that this is 30 points. Not because it, you know, it takes territory immediately, because of the strength. So
and this is the same.
It's exactly the same principle. Yeah.
Okay, let's continue.
All right.
Murugandi. I'm sorry, viewers, that I ask again.
I think those are really good questions.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's see.
Okay, so black did my move,
Yes.
which was wrong, of course.
It's slightly wrong, but you know, in this case, black already has a good position, because this move is immediately hurting white. So yeah. So I played here.
And white connected?
No. White played another move, which combines this kind of endgame strategy to reduce black.
He thinks he's cutting black.
Yeah, it looks like that. But black just played here, and now he's either connected on this side or underneath.
Nice play by black.
Yeah, this is very good, very good. So white just responds here.
But now white is a heavy group and another weak stone.
Yes, you can now see that white has a terrible game, because immediately he gave himself a weak group over here, and like you said, it's very heavy, and this stone is also very weak. So he has 2 weak groups, which means that he did something wrong. Oh yeah. And now, white even started to run with his group. So you can see that he's only making it worse for himself.
Okay, so black played now something here?
Would be an okay approach.
Okay.
But what black did in the game is maybe even better. He played here. So he keeps...
otherwise white can kind of connect. And have his influence towards the center.
Yes. So
this now this stays weak.
Yes,
Okay.
it's very weak now. And,
Strong play, Black.
yeah, very good. It's something that you always have to keep in mind. When your opponent is weak, you want to separate his weak groups. You want to keep him weak. You want to gain something from it. So in this case, this is a very good move. Later, Black made a few small mistakes that had to do with the same principle. And yeah, I'll come back to that.
Okay.
What White did now, what would you do?
As White,
Yes?
I would keep on jumping.
Okay. Yeah, that's okay. That's the best approach. If you want to run, then you know, it maybe would have been better to not play this at all and just play somewhere else.
To sacrifice those 3 stones?
Yeah. Well, you can see that the whole strategy of White from this point on is completely a failure.
But he's a stronger player.
Yes, he is the stronger player, and it's very surprising to me because he's 1Q on KGS. Maybe he wanted to experiment and to fight a lot.
Okay, that's also...
Yeah, nice kind of approach, but yeah, always keep this in mind. When you want to try to experience with fighting, don't forget the basic principles. They still apply, so if you have a weak group, you have to defend it. If you have a strong group, you can play as far away from it as possible. All these kind of standard things, don't forget them, you know. Even when you fight, try to first make yourself strong and then fight. That's the correct way.
Yes, I know these things, but when I'm in a battle,
Yeah.
I forget.
Yeah, yeah. It's easy to forget when you're fighting, of course, because it's very, yeah, it's very nice, and in the heat of the battle, you want to kill each other. But well, anyway, White played here now. Yeah, this is also quite a weird move because maybe you would want to play something like this if it would be dangerous to get caught. So if White would be afraid of such moves, then maybe this could be nice. But as you can see, there is no cut at this point because White will just connect. And Black doesn't want to cut off these stones at all because, you know, this is weak, so he wants to...
flow of water.
Yes, the flow of water. Very good. He wants to pressure this and maybe go into the center and then make points at the same time.
So we're going to play like here and then make
Yeah.
this very big.
Yeah, something like this. And White is extremely in trouble. So, well, this move is also very peculiar, but let's continue. So Black just connects.
Oh, that's nice, because he has good and he threatens to,
Yeah. Yeah,
to seal White in.
yeah, that's the correct response. You could also say that this is also fine, because later this is still possible. And because this is so strong, these kind of moves for White are not very effective, because Black can play such things. But yeah, this is just okay. It's good. Yeah, and at this point, White played here. So he realizes that this stone is in danger, so he has to help it. That's a good approach, but at this point...
I would say you have to sacrifice it and play somewhere else.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's why at this point maybe playing here is better. But still, this is also very painful, because in the opening stage of the game, you want all of your moves to be aimed at making territory. And these moves are all dummy points. You can see that White is running into the center, but he's not doing anything with them. You know, he's not making influence, he's not taking territory.
So you said something quite interesting. So in the opening, you always have to focus on territory.
Yes, it is very, very important. So,
but I never heard this rule before.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Then
I play Go now for like 6-7 years, and I never heard this.
Yeah, it's very, very nice. When I was in China, my teacher there told me this, because it's easy, even for dumb players, to sometimes forget that the game is about territory, you know. So, like I showed you in the last variation, when you're creating strength, sometimes dumb players don't even think about territory anymore, but try to make strong shapes. But in the opening, you try to make the fundamentals for the rest of the whole game. And while you're doing that, while you're making your own bases and your own strong fundaments, let's say, you also have to think about taking territory. That's why if there are no urgent moves, you always just have to take a big point. like this, for example.
So that's why Paul Bolloch always like things like an hour in his first 10 moves.
Yeah, maybe that's the explanation. The opening is very important, so you can't underestimate how important the basics are.
Okay, but again, so in the opening you have to focus on territory.
Well, that's of course a very general rule, because there are also players that like
so
to...
how did your teacher say it?
Well...
Do you remember?
Yeah, let's just say that if you're fighting, sometimes like this, a player could be distracted and play things like this to keep attacking white. But you can see that this move is like these stones, it's very vague. You know, the idea of attacking is very good, but you can also attack and at the same time take territory. So that's the kind of mentality that you have to keep in mind. So for example, if you just make yourself strong like this, or here, you're very, very strong, which means that later you can attack. And white will have nowhere to go. You see? But at the same time, you're taking territory. Because this all becomes blacks. So that's very important.
Okay.
So try to keep this in mind when you're playing the opening. Make your stones take some points. Always think about territory.
Okay.
Or influence. Strength is also very important. But strength is something that will result in territory. So it's difficult to find the balance, but keep it in mind.
Okay. But anyway,
yeah.
Very good lesson from today. Anyway, already.
That's nice. So yeah, now white is creating two problems for himself.
Okay, but now black plays here and then this is totally gets pressured and is in trouble.
That's very good. This move is actually correct. But well, black didn't play this. I will come back to this. Black played here, which is also well, it's okay, you know, because black already has a good game, but it's a bit loose. In this case, you can see that this is weak. This doesn't have any eyes, and it's not going anywhere. I mean, it can go into the center, but yeah, it's useless for white. And this is also very weak. So now for black, it's very, very important to pressure white. So something like this, or this is the best, would pressure this group. And if white would try to make shape, you can see that this stone is still very pressured because of these. So there is no base yet. Black is already taking territory. And if white would jump out, for example, like this, black would just run along. And yeah, white is not accomplishing anything. And even if white tries to make a base here, it's very small, very local. Black got this for free. And yeah, black can still keep pressuring white, like this for example. And as you can see, black is gaining all these moves here, which
this is attacking this.
Yeah, indirectly. So it might look like it doesn't do anything, but later if black can get these kind of moves, then you can see that immediately there, yeah, he's in trouble. So yeah, well, let's see what happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is also okay, but a bit fake. And now white went into the corner. And here black made another small mistake. So where would you play?
Oh, I find this also always difficult because I've two choices. I can play here, then I pressure this. But there's also like a saying from you have to play on the side where you have the stone most far away or something like this. So maybe I would tend to play here, but I'm not sure, Murugandi.
Yeah, this is a very good lesson. Black also played here, and it was probably with the same mentality that this stone is far away, so you want to make territory on this side. But actually you can see that this extension is also on this side.
But there are white stones in between.
Yes, and that's actually why you would have to play here. Because like I showed earlier, white is very weak, and if you play on this side you keep pressuring him. Whereas if you play here, like it went in the game, you can see immediately that white is combining his own weakness and becoming strong. So it went like this. And now these stones are connected. They're even making territory, and now white is only one problem. But if you would play on the other side,
he would have 3 problems.
Yes.
So 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, at this point he would have
Okay.
3 problems.
Yeah. If you say it, I always see it. Why can't I see it when I'm playing Murugandi?
I'll try to keep it in mind. Yeah. It's very nice. Oh, this is really the fundamentals of Go. Think about weaknesses and strength. If your opponent has a weakness, try to attack it. First, always think, do I have a weakness? If you do, help it, get rid of the weakness. And then think, does my opponent have a weakness?
Okay, but to come back, maybe the black player thought, what you said in the opening, I have to focus on territory.
Yeah.
And now he's focusing on fighting. Okay, I can see I will get results from this fighting.
Yeah,
I can understand his way of thinking, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, maybe I can show you a bit.
Yeah.
Because this is also about territory. If white will do the standard Joseki like this stone will get hurt immediately. Yeah, so like here you can see it's 2 against 1, and here it's also 2 against 1. And there are a lot of other black stones surrounding, so yeah, white would lose Sente, which is also incredibly important. So now, this strength is just standing there. Maybe black can even do a vulgar move like this, which is normally not good, but now it helps to attack this. And if black plays something like this, or just goes out, you can see that this is all becoming territory. Do you see that? So yeah, this and this is still not secure either.
Yeah.
So if white will keep running, it is very painful. Just get another stone like this and yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, it's very nice for black. So yeah, that's why attacking weaknesses is the same as making territory in this case. But yeah, you have to keep you have to be careful with this, because if your moves are not sure that they will make territory, then they might be dubious. Yeah. In the opening. Yeah, so yeah, he blocked here.
Okay. I see we are a little bit getting short on time, Murugandi.
Okay, well maybe I can show you one more thing.
Yeah,
and,
please.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't want to influence the...
Okay, no problem. So yeah, black plays here now.
Yeah.
And what do you think white should have to play now? Yeah. Yeah, this is what white plays.
I don't like your smile, Mr. Murugandi.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, white played here, but this is a small mistake. Actually, it's quite a big mistake, because sorry, because this only focuses at defending, as you can see. It's the only thing that this move does is defend this, whereas there in the standard kind of Joseki, this is a kind of move that you can play, because it defends and it also goes into this direction, so it also helps on this side.
Yes.
But now, yeah, that would be a little bit strange. There's another move that white can play, which is here. It also I also showed it a little bit in another review.
I remember now. Yes.
So now there is no cut anymore.
And you're...
Yes, you're aiming at destroying this territory, because you have all kinds of nice moves here, nice follow-ups. And there's even one move which might now be best, which is here.
Okay, because that helps this stone.
Yes, this stone is now perfect actually. So it looks very nice. Suddenly it has a function in the game. So because black can't cut here, if it would go like this.
And you can just capture.
Yeah, normally if this wouldn't be here, then you can see that. Oh, actually it also doesn't work. But yeah.
I can see your point, but and because of this stone now it's already tied to your mouth.
And even if this wouldn't work, black could get something out of it. So if it would go like this, this is also kind of sacrificing thing that the down players do a lot, and which is nice for Q players to to try sometime. Now you can see that black sacrifices 2 stones, but gets a really nice wall. So suddenly this is also working together. But yeah, because of the stone that was over here,
it was not possible.
Was all not possible. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, so maybe you can stop for today, and we do a short one tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. From the same game.
Yeah, from the same game.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Or do you think it's not interesting?
No, actually, it was a very interesting game. There are a lot of nice other fights that happen.
Okay. But can we keep it short tomorrow, because today is extra long?
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Then, thank you, audience. Thank you, KTS Lessons Murugandi. And I hope to see you. Okay, the next time is
Monday.
Monday.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so
see you Monday.
see you, man.